Hey, how's it going? Just doing a review of the Tactical Machining AR lower jig. I got one and was very surprised by the poor condition, in my opinion, poor condition of the jig. So I emailed them and told them I thought they sent me a used jig or something, and they said, "Oh no, we don't carry any used jigs, so what you got is what you get, and you can return it for full refund if you want, or we can send you another one." Um, and what I ended up doing was buying another one to compare it to, and then with the thoughts of returning the second one or the first one, whatever made most sense. But I just wanted to share the condition of these jigs. So first of all, they're aluminum and they got drill bushings for the side holes and then steel pins. And the first thing that caught my attention was how rusty these steel pins are. And if you can see, you can probably see that rust right there, yeah. And so I emailed them and I was like, oh yeah, like the pins on my jig are all rusty. And the rep, whoever was emailing me back, said, oh yeah, they're rusty. That's just steel and steel rusts, so they rust. I'm like, okay, you know what? Like this jig was $100. It's not like super cheap or anything. Yeah, I know steel rust. That's like a characteristic of the metal, and you know what? That's why you put grease on it to keep your shit from rusting. Or better yet, spend a couple bucks more and put some stainless steel pins in there. If you're gonna be selling jigs for $100 a pop, they should not have rust all over them, in my opinion. So it's actually pretty bad. And yeah, you know what? You could, if you want to, you could clean this up with Scotch-Brite or whatever. But you know what? When I buy brand new hardware, I don't think, oh yeah, it's brand new, so I'll just clean it up with some Scotch-Brite because there's rust all over everything. Yeah, if I buy something brand new, I expect it to be brand new. So that's pretty shitty. And then the second thing I noticed was these burrs on the drill bushings. There's massive, massive burrs on the inside of the drill bushings. And then I noticed, you know what? These drill bushings aren't really bushings. And they said that they press in steel rods and they drill out the steel rods. So it's, once again, looks like they have a little bit of a countersink on this hole. There's burrs on the countersink. It's a steel rod that's pressed in to this aluminum plate and drilled out. And if you can see, this steel rod is horribly scored. The other one's not so bad, but that one's got this gnarly score on it. And if you're expecting to get any sort of accuracy from your drill, from this drill bushing with scoring like that, like, you know what, good luck. I'm no machinist, but I'm definitely familiar with tooling, and I've never milled any ARs before, but I'm going to be doing it shortly, and like I said, I'm familiar with tooling and some machine shop stuff. So this bushing here looks much better. As you can see, it's got like a more of a shiny finish to it, and the smaller ones didn't seem to be an issue too bad on the other ones, but these sorry about the camera has a hard time focusing here, but these smaller ones on the jig seem a lot better than the big one on the first jig. But this is the second one that I ordered here. The first one had really bad scoring, like I was saying, on that big bushing, and the second one I ordered was a lot better. So I think I'll keep the second one. So there's the first one. You can see all that scoring in there. And then there's the second one. You can see it's a much glossier finish. Anyway, yeah, what you should do in your manufacturing shit like this, in my opinion, like I said, I'm no machinist, but I'm familiar with this kind of stuff, is, you know what, go ahead, drill your hole in your aluminum plate, make that very precise, and then just press fit in a pre-done drill bushing, a proper drill bushing. Don't press in steel and then drill out your steel. That's kind of retarded. You should be pressing in a hardened steel bushing in that hole, in my opinion. Anyway, so that's that. Oh yeah, another thing that I noticed, let's see, that was the second one. This is the first one that I bought here, is that there's these huge Mars in the paint, right there. A little bit clearer, yeah, in the corners. There and there, And then on the receiving, the other side of the plate, same thing there and there. And that's what really led me to say this is a used jig, because how you're going to use it is you're going to, as most of you probably know, you're going to get your AR lower in the middle of there and clamp it down together. You're going to clamp this jig down to your mill table and then do your milling. And the dog out there. And so it makes sense that when you're clamping stuff down to your table, when you're clamping this down to your mill table, you're going to scuff up the sides of the plate. So yeah, it's going to happen. But like I said, if I'm buying a brand new, this is advertised as a new jig, not a used jig, and it has these gouge. This is a gouge mark here, and I can feel that there's a burr on there too, from the gouging, and that does not look like a new plate to me. Does that look like a new plate to you? It's beautiful anodization. Otherwise, it's just this got these big Mars in the corner. And so I raised that question in the email, and they said, "Oh yeah, well what we do is we we have to clamp down this plate in order to press fit the drill bushings in and the pins in." And I'm like, okay, you know what? That's retarded. Look at that. Look at the damage on that plate. This is a brand new item. This should not look like this. And yeah, if you got to press fit in stuff, you can get you know, vice soft jaws and stuff like that to not mar up your plate. So I don't know what they're selling at Tactical Machining. I heard that they were a really good company to buy this AR stuff from, and I did buy a bunch of lowers from them. And so I wanted to buy the same jig from them because I wanted to, it made sense to do if I was going to do the lowers from them, to do their jig too. And I heard they were a great company, but I'm not impressed at all by this jig for the AR lowers. And my ARs, which I have kind of squirreled away, I should have brought them out for this video too, but there's a couple spots where the anodization on, not all of the lowers that I bought, but a couple of them I got some anodized and some just straight aluminum, but some of the anodization is very light in places, so it's not a very clean job. These plates, as far as anodization quality, look pretty good, in my opinion, besides the damage from, you know, I mean, you can see it. This is just a video from my phone, and you can see the damage in the corners of the plates. It's pretty dramatic. This one doesn't seem to have much damage, but it does have scuff marks. I don't know if you can see the scuff marks. You can probably see them. Yeah, you can see the scuff marks there, but it's not through the anodization. So anyway, that's the story with that. The top plates for the drilling seem much better, except for one set. This is one set, and this is the other set that I bought. This set has a big burr in the corner there, where it looks like something just got hit. So that, you know, that's catching on my finger. That's a burr there, and then there's another burr in the corner there. So I'm just, you know, I like to give companies the benefits of the doubt, and you know, not get too picky about stuff. But I emailed them. They stood by their product, even though I told them there's like damage in the corners, the pins are rusty, there's big burrs on the inside of the drill bushings, and then on the back of the drill bushing. You know what? If you're gonna drill out if you're gonna press fit a dowel in there and then drill it out, why don't you knock off that burr that you created on the back, and actually have a nice machine product that you're gonna sell instead of selling just shit. That one seems okay there, but look at that burr in the middle there. That's ridiculous. So I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me if you think I'm being overly picky about this, but I think when I spend $100 on something that's advertised as new, I want to see a nice new product, not have just a collection of burrs everywhere that I'm going to have to clean up. You know, you could oil these dowels and then they wouldn't rust before you ship out your part. You could not cheap out and just use regular drill bushings. That would be more accurate and not be all shitty with burrs and have big spiral cuts on the inside of them. And use some soft jaws on your part when you're pressing shit in, so that you don't muck up your anodization and end up sending out a part to your customers that just looks like shit. I don't know if that's too much to ask for, but leave me a comment if you wish. Later.